belonging to somebody or something. We want to be Australians, or in whatever your country is. We want to be part of a community. We want to be part of a family. We want to have a sense of belonging with our significant other, whoever that might be. We want to know that we have that belongingness with people. And the wonderful thing is we have that with the God of this universe. We need to be more conscious of that, be more aware of that, keep that on top of mind. We belong to him. He takes care of his own. And although he is in heaven, he can still identify with those who believe in him. So Jesus stepped foot on the earth and identified with human beings by becoming a human being. Since he did what he did, he can sympathize with Christian struggles and weaknesses. He's capable of sympathizing with everything we face. That is such a comfort for us as believers, to understand that whatever you're going through, Jesus understands. He feels in his heart what you're experiencing. He has already felt all the emotions of a human being here on this earth. He felt pain, he felt rejection, he felt loneliness, he felt it all. He can sympathize with us. John 1:14 says this, "And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth." This is who we have as our great high priest, Jesus Christ, the Son of God, full of grace and truth. He has walked where I have walked. We need to think about that, people. So the double negatives, not and cannot, that we just read up there, it says, "For we do not have a high priest who cannot sympathize with our weaknesses." So they strongly affirm that we do have a high priest and that he can identify with our weaknesses. This is the positive side of the contrast. Jesus does not just feel for us when we are tempted, he gives us active assistance. And you remember Peter. Jesus said to Peter, this is an example in the Bible of active assistance. So here it is, Luke 22:31-32. "And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, indeed Satan has asked for you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for you that your faith should not fail." So even though we come under spiritual pressure, Jesus is there interceding. Jesus is there providing, praying for us. Who better than God himself praying for us? The devil tempted Jesus to sin. He was tempted in every way that we are, yet without sin. It says at every point. Matthew 4:3-6 says this. "Now when the tempter came to him," now this is when Jesus was fasting 40 days in the desert, coming out, about to start his ministry. The devil came at that point, sensed there might be weakness there, sensed that Jesus would have been really hungry, 40 days without food, sensed that he may be weak in his emotions, and tried to tempt him. Now the tempter came to him and said, "If you are the Son of God, command that these stones become bread." But he answered and said, "It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God." Then the devil took him up into the holy city, set him on a pinnacle of the temple, and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge over you, and in their hands they shall bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone." Tempted includes both ideas of temptation to sin and to endure trial. Temptation is not sin. That's important. A lot of people think because they're being tempted, they're sinning. That is not sin. When you succumb to temptation and you commit the sin, obviously that is sin. So, however, yielding to temptation is sin. Jesus did not yield to temptation. He confronted in principle everything that we might experience. So 1 John 2:16 and 17 says this, "For all that is in the world," and these are the points we're looking at now, the points where we can be tempted and where we fall to sin. And it's laid out here for a reason. It says, "For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life," three things, "is not of the Father," those things are not of the Father, "but of the world. And the world is passing away," it says, "and the lust of it. But he who does the will of God abides forever." Now think about this. Satan tried the same three temptations on Christ during the 40 days in the wilderness. He tempted Jesus with the lust of the flesh, bread for his hunger; with the lust of the eyes, all the kingdom of the world with all their splendor; and the pride of life, daring Jesus to cast himself from the roof of the temple in order to prove that he was the Messiah, and by an ostentatious display of power that was not in the will of God or his plan for the redemption of mankind. So in those 3 points outlined in 1 John, Jesus was tempted, but Jesus did not sin. It says he was tempted at every point we are, yet without sin. So Jesus resisted the devil, and he used the word of God to ensure the victory over him. So think about this. If you're in a place of temptation, and a lot of times you're by yourself, there's not anybody around, you're by yourself, and it seems like it's harder to speak against the temptation, to call upon God, to ask for his active assistance, but he promises if you call on him, he will give you a way of escape. He will not allow you to be tempted above what you are able. That's very important. So we don't just need to fall to sin. We need to understand that we can call on God and that he will assist us. And many times we're on our own. If we speak it out boldly, we are not on our own. You're speaking into the spirit realm. God is listening. Satan is listening. And even though you're by yourself, understand that God is there, that we are speaking in the spirit realm. Jesus was on his own, but he spoke. He spoke in the spirit realm.